Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this recording. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is April Carter, and I am a proud team member with Tennessee Nonprofit Network, and I'm so excited to bring you a sneak peek into our 2025 Regional Nonprofit Storytelling Summit. Now, it's happening April 23rd in Knoxville, Tennessee. So if you're not registered, it's not too late. We have a few tickets remaining, so make sure you get registered. And I have a very, very good reason for you to register. Today, I'm joined by two of our incredible speakers and longtime friends at Elevate Consulting. And they're going to share some insights into their session and talk about the power of storytelling in the nonprofit world around transforming data into impact, leveraging storytelling for effective evaluation and communication. It sounds nerdy, but it is so important and so exciting, and they are going to tell us why. So I want to welcome Hannah and Jessica. They are team members again with Elevate Consulting. Hannah is the Chief Research and Evaluation Officer and co-founder, and Jessica is the Chief Practice Officer. I love that title, and also co-founder. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks so much, April.
Hello.
So I am excited to get into this conversation. So you all know you much better than I do in your role. So can you kind of talk about your role, your background, and why you're excited to present at the Nonprofit Storytelling Summit? And we'll start with Jessica.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So hi everybody. My name is Jessica Gibbons, Chief Practice Officer at Elevate. Elevate has been around for 8 years, going on 9 years soon. And we at Elevate, I like to say that our jam is kind of the intersection of learning, connection, and action. So if it has to do with those things, we're all about it. And we try to bring a spirit of like fun and joy into that work. So my role as Chief Practice Officer, I kind of attend to how are we showing up in the work as practitioners? How are we sort of partnering with our clients through the really complex situations that we are walking with our clients along, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's me. And oh, right, your other question was why am I jazzed to come present at the Tennessee Nonprofit Storytelling Summit? And the thing that I just shared about like kind of our jam is that intersection of learning, connection, and action. It feels like the Storytelling Summit is an excellent space for all of those things. So I think Hannah and I are both really excited to share kind of our insights around effective storytelling, particularly with data, and to hear from folks at, who are joining the conference about their own experiences, what challenges they've had, and how we're kind of like working with that in our new context in 2025.
Wonderful. And Hannah?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Hannah Wohltjen. I'm the Chief Research and Evaluation Officer at Elevate. And in my role as the Chief Research and Evaluation Officer, I'm really looking at our new and innovative work that we do and opportunities to offer cool new services at Elevate that I then pass to Jessica to memorialize and turn into strong, high quality practices at Elevate. I am very excited about this presentation because a topic that's really near and dear to my heart is data visualization and making data accessible to a variety of audiences. And we really find that this leveraging storytelling is a really effective way to do that. And similar to Jessica, I just love hearing about how other folks are using storytelling, challenges they're facing, ways that they've overcome those. Because ultimately we're all practitioners in that space. And so I actually find that I learn a lot as well, in addition to being able to share some of our best practices.
This is so exciting. You've thrown out words like data and making it accessible. And so kind of tell us a little bit about, okay, we're not going to give it away, but tell us a little bit about your session and what attendees can expect when they attend. We'll
Yeah.
go with Hannah.
So one of the things that we find in working with a lot of the folks that Elevate serves is there's challenges between, we have data and it might be really robust and strong, but then there's a disconnect between that and the way that we message that as an organization. And so this session is really our way of trying to bridge both of those things. So taking that really important and like strong data that you have and turning that into something that's effective. And our overview teaser for this is we'll be sharing our sort of best practices in terms of that storytelling process and the steps along the way to link data and messaging, as well as, again, some of those best practices and guidelines in how to visualize your data well, use the most effective forms of graphics, and really kind of pack a punch in the way that you are able to communicate what you're finding and the impact that your organization is having.
Anything to add, Jessica?
No, I think that was beautiful. I'll say we always get really great feedback about this workshop. People always walk away with like very practical, hands-on, like things that they can turn around and do the next day with their visualizations, their reports, their spreadsheets.
No, absolutely. I 100% agree. We've done some work with Elevate, and just that data visualization is so important. And it's one of the things that we had top of mind when we were planning a storytelling summit. You know, getting people away from thinking storytelling is just about social media and graphics and talking about recapping an event that happened, but how that data and making it accessible and understandable is key to be able to tell an effective story long term to different audiences. So we're so excited about this conversation. I'm so glad that you all submitted. But when you're thinking about storytelling, like in your experience, how has storytelling transformed nonprofits and the nonprofit sector? Because you've worked with so many different types of nonprofits. How have you seen that transformation through storytelling?
Yeah. Do you want me to go first this time?
You can go, Jessica.
Okay, yeah. I think that I mean, I feel like we all recognize that storytelling is really critical in fundraising, but we have also seen directly in our work how storytelling is such a critical part of like shaping our shared narrative about what is the work we're doing, what is the world we're building, trying to build towards, and like what are meaningful ways to kind of mark that journey. And so for me, I think that both, of course, it's critical for fundraising and it's really valuable to engage your community, your stakeholders. It's really valuable to engage your own staff in, maintaining a motivation and commitment to what is the work we're doing, who are we in the world, and how are we making a difference.
Anything to add, Hannah?
I would say too, we get the opportunity to work quite a bit in the collaborative and systems change space as well. And when you have, groups of organizations pulling together towards community-wide change and unsticking sticky problems, that narrative that's crafted through those types of mechanisms and storytelling can really help organizations partner more strongly together. And to Jessica's point as well, like really define who we are, what we're trying to address, and yeah, how close or far we are from making progress on those things.
And I love how you connected our call to collaborate and work together with storytelling, because it is so important, especially in the community that we're serving, that may see several organizations working in their community, but to be able to effectively tell the story, there has to be some kind of connection and collaboration. So thank you for highlighting that. And now you both seem to have kind of different personalities. So this next question, I would love for both of you to answer, and we'll start with you, Hannah. So do you see yourself as more of a listener of stories? Do you like to listen to stories, or are you more of just like a natural storyteller? You love to tell stories?
I am 100% a listener. I appreciate a good story, and surrounded. I'm fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of really good storytellers. But I'm definitely a listener.
Okay, and Jessica?
Yeah, I think I do both. I think that a good story like really, invites me in and I can get really yeah, just delighting in the world of a good story. And I think that every once in a while, particularly if you get me in a room full of people or hand me a microphone, my goodness, the power, I will tell a story.
I love that balance, and we kind of have the same thing here. I'm surrounded by storytellers, specifically, Kevin Dean, our president, and my colleague Andrea Hill. They're always telling these great stories, and I feel like when I try to retell those stories, it doesn't pack the same punch. But I am great at listening, and I can give them the details back. So I love that you guys have both of those. And so, but when we're thinking about storytellers, if you can have dinner with a storyteller, past or present, who would that storyteller be and why? And we'll start with you, Jessica.
Sure, yeah. I love poetry. It's a little different than like a narrative story, yeah, it's a little different, but I do really love poetry. And last night, I was reading from my collection of poems by Hafiz, and he is just such a the writing is so emotive and like bright and sparkly and also like often absurd and funny. Like I laughed out loud reading these poems. So yeah, I would love to have dinner with Hafiz and just bask in his glory.
Wonderful. Okay, Hannah.
I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan, have been for a very long time. And so this question was actually really easy to answer because 100% it would be J.R.R. Tolkien. I mean, he basically established the fantasy genre as we know it today. I would love to I would just like to speak with him and hear how his brain works, because he has created so many stories that are near and dear to my heart, in that fantasy genre.
I love both of those answers. So we're going to hope that then one day you can come close to having dinner with a portion of that brilliance. So if someone wanted to get in touch with you, we're looking forward to the April 23rd summit in Knoxville, Tennessee. But if someone wanted to go down a rabbit hole and be prepared to meet you in person on April the 23rd, how could they get in touch with you or follow you on social platforms? And we'll start with Hannah.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. So our website is consultelevate.com. And so we are contactable through our website. But if you'd like to give us a follow too on social media or on LinkedIn, we're also at Consult Elevate. We also have a wonderful newsletter and blog that you can sign up for via the website. And also all of our back issues of our blog topics are present on the website as well. If you'd like to get a little bit of a taste for kind of the way that we approach this work, and Elevate's kind of unique flavor for data evaluation, yeah, and how we do that work in the community.
All right, fantastic. So thank you both so much for taking time to give us a little insight to your session, transforming data into impact, leveraging storytelling for effective evaluation communication. So we are so excited about this session. Again, if you are not registered, there are still just a few tickets remaining. Go to tnnonprofits.org and hover over to events to find the full list of speakers and more about Hannah and Jessica and how you can take part in their session. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode.